Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello, Light. And welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another Husam X Thomas Little. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are ready. And today's stream, we've got a lot to talk about related to Liverpool Football Club. We have got Jared Bowen to talk about. We've got Liverpool Football Club to talk about. We've got the Wolves game to talk about. And as well, the Europa League kind of dropped. So I want to talk about why the hell Adrian in there, even though we extended them. Anyway, big up everyone who tuned in. We're back. Once again, apologies. First two days of this week, I couldn't stream because I was a bit sick. Influenza, all of that stuff. I think it's just the change of the weather. But we're here now, alhamdulillah, recovered, all good, all ready to give you back more and more content. So, everyone watching this right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch it on the replay, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to This is Football if you're yet to do so. We are on the road to 21.3K. Let's go, folks. Slap that like button. Subscribe to This is Football. Keep letting us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Love to every single person who has shown us all the love and support. And of course, the guy who's going to join us on the channel. I realized I'm actually probably the toughest on him out of all people who I work with. But the truth be told, he's probably worked with me the longest now consecutively on the channel. And I have to say, he is absolutely my favorite Liverpool fan to work with. A great guy all round. Yes, sometimes he has howlers with his opinions and stuff. But as a guy, he's a great guy. We'll be there, inshallah, as well when Tom Little's channel is monetized. I'll be there on the first stream, inshallah. So make sure to go support him. I know Selection will be kissing his ass as well. So can't wait for that monetized stream. Selection's probably going to drop a $50 piece for Tom Little just to kiss his ass because they're besties and stuff. So anyway, of course, none other than our favorite panelist, man like Tom Little. How you doing, Tom? Man?
Thank you. That is probably the nicest intro you've ever given me. See, you get off your influenza, you get past your illness, and all of a sudden, you're a new man. You see the positivity.
100%.
Just wait until we bring up Jared Bowen now. It'll all fade when Jared Bowen gets brought to. I'll tell you that with people.
I
Jared Bowen over Salah, it's gone.
I just would say something honestly. Like before we even get started, I know sometimes, you know what it is, as a content creator, I know Tom would agree, sometimes conflict is even better than always agreeing all the time. But on a real, I am so glad me and Tom Little fully agreed on that Salah thing, because the fact that we're linked to Jared Bowen proves it all. And before we even get started or ask Tom his opinion, listen, 200 people in here, hit the like button, subscribe. This is going to get heated at some point, and I don't want to keep interrupting it to just say like and subscribe. So just hit the like button, subscribe. Minimum 100 likes first target. And Tom, you kind of took the words off there. There's only one place to start. And usually I would let the guest start first, but there's something on my chest that I just want to say before I even let Tom speak. Before I even speak on Bowen to begin with. I saw certain journalists, I don't know who agrees. Am I lagging or am I good?
You lag a little bit, but you're all right now.
I'm good. HD, baby. Let's go. I saw some journalists, I don't know who the hell gave them journalist degrees, linking us to Vinicius Jr. And you know what I find funny? Even Liverpool fans were laughing harder at that tweet than rivals to begin with. The reason why we're laughing hard as hell is it's not even FSG PR or club PR. Like, can we just do better as journalists? Like, no, everyone here knows. Everyone knows. Just look at yourself in the mirror and say, are you going to sign Vinicius Jr.? Like, just honest, just think about it. Brazilian, plays for Real Madrid, won the Champions League there. Why the hell would he leave to join Liverpool Football Club? Like, honestly, at some point in time, these links, we need to just start calling out the journalists who make them up. And if you're a Liverpool fan who believed it, with all due respect, I can't help you. You genuinely need help from God Almighty. It's just, you just can't be helped. Imagine believing they used to call the Athletic a credible journalist thing. Like, honestly, how are we being linked to Vinicius? And we have Amin here who's a big troll. Husam is Vinny Jr. going LFC, saw the link yesterday. That's what I mean. Like where are we going with this? Where are we headed as a footballing world? Like the Bowen links is a bit more realistic, you know. Mbappe again, we get it. It was a disappointing transfer window because we didn't get the DM and we didn't get the center back, you know. And you know, it's everyone's minds and stuff, and they want to do positive PR. But you think after Bellingham and after Mbappe and after all these links, people are gonna fall for it again? I'm sorry, I refuse to even advocate it. Tom Little.
I read the article. What it said was Liverpool should be shopping in the market for elite wingers like a Vinicius Junior or an Mbappe if Salah leaves. It didn't say Liverpool are interested in Vinicius Junior. It said we're interested in Mbappe, but they should be shopping in the market for an Mbappe or a Vinicius Junior. It never even said Liverpool are linked with them and Liverpool want to buy him. No. It didn't even actually link us to Bowen. It just said we had interest in him in the past. It was a very opinion. It was an opinion piece which aggregators took as gospel, which isn't true. It carried about as much weight, Husam, as me and you on the show. If I say, "Oh, I'd like us to buy Moussa Diaby," that carries as much weight as what was written in that article. So these Liverpool news sources need to do a little bit better on that front. But you know my thoughts on the Salah situation. In an ideal world, you keep him round because he's not dropping off anytime soon. You give him a new deal. But the way the football club runs, they're going to look at the chance to get 150, 200 million for a 32-year-old and probably take it. In that case, your replacement, if you can't get Mbappe, which, let's be honest, you're not getting Mbappe. If you were getting Mbappe, you would have got him earlier. If you're trying to replace Mo Salah, you have to A, do it in aggregate, so over 2, 3, or 4 players, and B, you have to go out and buy. You're not going to buy a player who is like Mo Salah now, because even Mo Salah when we bought him wasn't like Mo Salah now. So you have to go and buy a player who was like Mo Salah when you bought him. And for me, that's Moussa Diaby. You can then spend the rest of the money elsewhere to strengthen overall and hope that that having a better squad collectively is able to make up for that deficit. But we shouldn't be in this situation where you're looking at it and going, we have to let go of our best player to fund a rebuild of 3 or 4 players and then hope that it all works out for the better. No, we should be able to sit there and give Mo Salah a new 3-year deal because that man is going to go till 35 and not drop off. Look at the shape he's in. Look at the consistency he's put in. And let's say he does start to drop off. The offers are still going to be there. He's always going to be wanted by those clubs in those countries. He always is because he's the face of it. So whether he's told us that he doesn't want to renew is a different kettle of fish. We've had no inclination of that for a starter. So let's not, go assuming stuff. I'd love us to keep him around. He started the season brilliantly. 2 goals, 2 assists in 4 games. He's averaging a goal contribution every game, which is top numbers. And I don't even want to think about trying to replace. We just went through a whole summer where it's will he, won't he. Now that it's set in stone that he's not, I just want to enjoy Salah. I don't want to have to start thinking about who I'd buy to replace him again. And Jared Bowen, I'll pass on that because let's be honest. He's 27, 28 next summer. You believe if we sell Salah for 200 million, West Ham aren't going to come in and go, haha, you want Bowen? 100. You want Bowen? 90. English. Best player type. Like, he's going to be way too expensive. It doesn't make sense. So, I don't think it's a starter. I don't think Vinicius is a starter. I think your best bet is looking at a Moussa Diaby type player and trusting that your manager who has a proven track record of developing these players can do it again. Bear in mind, the reason why I say Moussa Diaby in this situation is, like I said, I can't buy a player who replaces Salah now. I have to buy a player who, for me, was like Salah when we bought him. And Moussa Diaby, for me, is a very close statistical match. Not only that, he would be the same age as when we bought Salah. And he's having a good season so far in the Premier League for Aston Villa. He's having a good season. Hopefully that kicks on and he continues to go and he continues to push forward. he's going to be expensive, but everyone's going to be expensive when teams know you need to buy a Salah replacement. No one's going to try and do you a nice deal. So you're going to be looking at like Adeyemi maybe from Dortmund, but I still think he's a bit too young. Brian Mbuemo was a name from Brentford. Like maybe is like a backup option. Who knows? But I don't even want to think about it right now. I just want to think about what Mo Salah's going to be doing against Wolves and the games beyond that because he gives us the best chance to win stuff.
Also, Waves, man said you should be grateful you won your first title. We actually have 19 titles. Thank you very much. There's a reason why United fans sing 20 times at Old Trafford, not 30 times, because it's not different competitions. And if you want to count as only the Premier League, then Man United have 0 titles, because since 2016, they've got 0 Premier Leagues. Anyway, before I just say my opinion on Bowen, 300 people in the building, guys. I told you I don't want to keep interrupting. Like and subscribe. So hit the like button. Subscribe to This Is Football. Big up to Amin and Waves for the super chats. And come back tonight at 11 p.m. inshallah, because we're doing the Prem Best XI on the A-listers. So please do hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know what it is with this whole conversation that's a little bit mad? You know, downfalls of clubs need to be studied as Liverpool, because we want to not do what they did. We need to, as a football club, as an institution, look at what other institutions did wrong and don't do that. And for me, there is absolutely zero difference between selling Ronaldo, buying Obertan, than selling Salah and buying man like Jared Bowen. And I see already Liverpool fans, because you know this is the sheep mentality we got in this fan base. I see directly Liverpool fans, as soon as we're linked to Jared Bowen directly, he's a good player, he's a great player, he's this, he's that. He's shit.
I think Jared Bowen's a decent player, but he's not the best level for us. He should not be who we're looking at to replace
100%.
Salah.
100%. He's average.
You can say a player is a good player, and I think Jared Bowen is a good player. He's a good player for a West Ham, for a Tottenham maybe Tottenham, or
exactly.
Chelsea is his height, not Liverpool, who are looking to replace arguably the greatest right winger the Premier League has ever seen with a 28-year-old from West Ham. It doesn't work 100%. That way.
He's average. That's it. He's just an average Premier League winger. Ain't nothing special about Jared Bowen. And this is the problem for me. See, it's already started. See, notice. See, look at this. This is just the baitest reply I've ever seen in my whole life. Just because Klopp improves players, let's just go get random people and get them in. Okay, listen, let's go get Jared Bowen.
Let's me go centre back, considering he can improve players. You know, you reckon if he gets me in, I suddenly become a Premier League standard.
Yeah, let's get Jared Bowen. Let's go get Scott McTominay.
People act like
let's go get Harry Maguire.
You know when we say that Jurgen Klopp improves these players, we act in the same breath like they were crap beforehand. Mo Salah was not crap beforehand. Let's bear in mind that when we bought Mo Salah, he was coming off a season where he got 34 goals and assists in 41 games for a Roma side that just missed out on the title with him as their best player. Let's compare that to what we would be getting if we bought Jared Bowen. 12 goals, 6 assists, and a Europa League quarter-final.
I want to head somewhere with this. So let me just the thing that we said at the start, me and Tom, that we laughed at with Vinicius Jr. That's what we should be aiming for if you want to get rid of Mo Salah. But it's never gonna happen. This is the reality. It's just never going to happen. And because me and Tom live in a realistic world, we've given up on the Mbappe stuff. We've given up on the Vinicius stuff. I can't lie, Bellingham was the last bit of belief any of us had, but that's because every person under the sun said that Bellingham is going to join Liverpool, so fair enough. But I'm never, fact, thank you. I'm never ever, not just never, I'm never ever going to do any of this crap ever again to myself. Who should replace Mo Salah? You want to hear the most factual answer given on YouTube platform. If you sell Mo Salah, his 2 replacements are Mbappe and Vinicius. Are they both gettable for Liverpool Football Club? No. If you want a future replacement that could someday end up being Mo Salah's level, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. Is Bukayo Saka going to leave Arsenal to join Liverpool? No. So The reality is, clubs like Real Madrid, like Manchester City, like Man United when they were successful, like other examples we can give you of clubs when they were successful. Yes, they did sell some players sometimes. Mostly they kept their best players. But when they sold their best players, they bought in amazing players to replace them. Now, the reason why I spoke on clubs' downfalls and it needs to be studied because we need to do exactly the opposite of that. If you sell someone, big up Gary, if you sell someone like Mo Salah, you need to go get an adequate replacement. And that has been my and Tom Little, and this is why I gave him prop at the start of the video, problem with this whole conversation. People keep coming at us with 175 million, 200 million, would you sell? 250 million, would you sell? But that's
Liverpool
not the
have to
point.
sell. They're never seeing that money
Yeah,
again.
exactly. The point is not the 200 million or the 250 million. The point is you're removing someone from my team that is so unbelievably good, and your replacement is this guy on the thumbnail right here. This is the problem I have with it.
It's not even
So
that.
essentially, you're saying you just don't want us to win the league ever again.
It's a different gripe I've got, and I'm going to say this because all them people, all them rivals who were sitting there the couple of days, before deadline day, and even after deadline day when the Saudi window was still open, going 200 million, you got to take that, You're never going to see that money again. What the fuck are we supposed to? What are we supposed to do with that 200 million right now then? Because the season doesn't just stop until January because we've sold Mo Salah. We still have a hell of a lot of games to play before that point in time. What are we supposed to do? Chuck the 200 million pounds on the pitch. Chuck that down. Million pounds, running down the wing. £1 million, pounds. What? It's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work, is it?
It won't.
It makes no sense to do that. You make more money if you are successful on the football pitch. That's the be all end all. They act like Salah is going to go for free next summer. He's not. You're still getting triple figures for him. In Wales, where Mitrovic is going for £50 million, are you telling me that next summer, Mo Salah, if he has another average Mo Salah season, which is just a 40 GA, is not going to go for double that? He obviously is minimum. It's crazy. They were only saying that. Let's be honest. We all know why they were saying that. They were saying that because they're sick to death of him. They are sick to death of Salah dunking on their heads. And I don't blame them.
It was
I would
mostly
be
United fans as well, by the way.
Oh, it was United. It was Arsenal. It was City. It was Chelsea. All them were trying to pipe in. Go, oh, you got to take the money. You got to take the money. No, it doesn't make sense. I'm not playing. I love Bendo, and I think we need to touch on Bendo as well because he got a load of fucking shit on Twitter today. Oh, he's not Pedri level yet. Does every single youngster who's age 17 have to be playing week in, week out for their first team? No, that doesn't mean he's a crap player. Pedri.
Some of the people that speak on Liverpool Spaces got onto Football Wars when some of the shit they say on them spaces makes me want to vomit.
Honestly, Sam, they sit there and act like
I don't want to start beef because you know me, Tom. You know with me, Tom, my tongue is a problem.
To do it. I'm
don't
happy
make me start beef, please.
I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to say the people who were doing it were saying stuff like, "Oh,
I'm an asshole."
Pedri at 19, Pedri at 17 was playing week in, week out for Barca. Gavi at 17 was playing week in, week out for Barca. All this sort of stuff. Great. Guess who their competition was? Fucking Paulinho. Probably Arda Turan was still there. Have a guess who Bendo's competition
Arda Turan was there. Not probably. He was there.
Have a guess who Bendo's competition is for first team football at Liverpool football. It's only Mohamed Salah. It's only the greatest right wing the Premier League's ever seen. Do you expect him to play?
It's only this guy right here. See this guy?
It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It's a joke. And look, Bendo has an awful lot of potential. He had a very good game yesterday against the Spanish under-17s, the under-21s, playing as a fucking false nine because Scotland had no one else. But people now expect him to be banging 10 goals, 10 assists. The last youngster to do that was fucking Michael Owen, and he won a Ballon d'Or.
Michael Owen, by the way, for people who don't know, he was Mbappe before Mbappe. Can I ask you a question, Tom? Because, by the way, Matty is someone who's FSG out and someone who I have loads of respect for. He's a massive supporter of the channel. He's saying it would be foolish to not sell Salah. Genuine question, and I want to ask Tom Little this, and I want Matty in the chat to explain himself. Why is it foolish? Why is it foolish to not sell him? Because I'll tell you exactly why it's foolish, and I want Tom to say this as I just go get my bottle of water. Tom, why is it foolish to sell Mo Salah? Explain it to them again. Maybe some people didn't watch the episode.
The only way you would sell Mo Salah is if you got in my opinion, 250 to 300 million, and you reinvested that into 4 or 5 world-class players around the squad to complete the squad, that isn't going to happen, so you don't do it. Because Mohamed Salah is the best player in the Premier League. You can't replace that. And as you said, the downside to it is FSG get their money ball moments. So they would take control. You'd then be back at stage 1 of the cycle. They would stick around longer. You lose your opportunity again. It's all these same things. Mo Salah isn't just going to suddenly depreciate in value. He's not a car. He's not just going to suddenly become worth nothing. He's still going to be worth a hell of a lot of money. The issue that people have is we've seen the Saudis come in and offer mad money. And because we've never seen that money offered again, like before, we're going to sit there and go, oh my God, is this ever going to be seen again? The Saudis are here to stay. It's not like this is a one and done offer. They will be back next summer to try and get the face of Arab football to their league.
And I'm telling you this as someone, I'm here.
As well.
I'm here. I'm from the region. My mother and my entire tribe found out about Liverpool Football Club because of Mo Salah. Let me explain something to you guys. I'm a part of a little bit of like an older generation than Tom Little. The reason why, let me explain something to people, because this relates to a different topic that I don't want to even open up. But the reason why Liverpool have a global fan base to begin with is not the brilliant marketing or any of that. It's Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard and Istanbul is the reason why Liverpool have a global fan base to begin with. That's number one. Number two, guys, people in my tribe and people around me in my city in Jordan they only found out about Liverpool, of course, other than me, because of Mo Salah. I started seeing Liverpool shirts in my city because of Mo Salah. Can we just stop acting like this is the last ever offer we're going to get for Mo? Please understand that whatever the Saudi club pays for Mo Salah is going to be, they're going to make it back in shirt sales within 2 days. I'm seeing Ronaldo in Nasser shirts in Jordan. In Nasser shirts. In Jordan. It's a Saudi club. There's no reason for anyone to be supporting in Nasser. So what I'm saying, you guys, is, in my opinion, when you have players who are not, because this is key, because I don't want someone to come tell me, oh my God, why wouldn't you sell this? Why didn't you sell that? When you have players who are not declining, as Tom Little stated, because this is a massive thing that people need to focus on. If they are not showing any signs of decline, why should you sell them? If I've got a winger on his bad year is giving me 40 GA, why the hell would I sell him? And second of all, there is no need for me or Tom or for anyone in the comment section to theorize and say what if. Let's look at the first 4 games of the season. Mo Salah has 2 goals, 2 assists. In clutch, big stadiums away from home and at home. Bro, that Aston Villa game, had Darwin Nunez scored the 3 chances that Salah created, Salah would already be on 7 assists. Like, do you understand? Had the people that Salah created opportunities for, he'd already be on 7 assists in 4 games. That's how unbelievable. So this is what I mean when people come up and say stuff like, oh my God, we've got to sell. By the way, I'm not even disrespecting my guy, because I know he's saying it more from an FSG perspective, which I completely agree with. Because, but for me, this is where you're stuck. I know this is a British saying, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, as they say. Because on one hand, I've got an ownership group that doesn't spend money. And on the other hand, I've got a manager and a sporting director, whether it be Julian Ward or Jörg Schmadtke, who can't replace players. So I'm stuck between selling my best player because my ownership don't spend money, or keeping my best player because they don't know how to replace them. This is the problem. So it's just like, you're just stuck in a position where no one should be in. Like, it's a bad situation to be in. And if we do get, and I've said this even previously, if we're the type of club, forget to even like the best of the best. If we even get like a Kvaratskhelia or we get a Leao, fair enough. But fam, we don't even get them. Like, Jared Bowen is on the thumbnail for a reason. That's the most realistic replacement that we're going to get. And for me, Salah's more like a Lewandowski or a Benzema. He can play till he's 34, 35. So That's the ultimate reality. Anyway, let me go through the super chats quickly before we carry on. Big up to BIG, my guy. If the Saudi League is a success, there will be a huge bidding war over Mo Salah. I don't know why rival fans acting like the offers won't be there. Let me explain something to everyone in the chat, and I mean exactly what I'm about to say. There is going to be an offer for Mo at 32 and 33 and 34 and 35 and 36. The offers from Saudi Arabia will continue to come. People need to stop acting like this is the last ever offer. Now, I'm not delusional. I'm not going to say that the offer when he's 35 is going to be 200 million. Of course not. But that 100 million ain't going in my pocket. That ain't going in Tom Little's pocket. That's going in FSG's pockets, who we don't even trust to replace players properly. So I'd rather keep the guy that I have, who's the best player in the entire league. Thank you very much. Alphonso Davies' last year contract can play left back, right wing. But when's the last time Alphonso Davies played right wing? I know I saw the interview you're talking about. If you mentioned the interview, Sanjit. But the reality is he plays left back. He plays left back at Bayern Munich. I cannot take the risk of replacing Mo Salah with bringing in a left back from Bayern to replace my right winger. There needs to be an element of realism here. That's the reality. The Salah replacement is going to be difficult. We don't need ordinary wingers. We have to go for elite wingers. Facts. And that's why when we spoke about Vinicius, me and Tom Little, let me explain something to people in the comments. It's not because we don't want Vinny. We would welcome Vinny being the Salah replacement. Absolutely would welcome it. But we realize, because we live in a real world and not utopia, that Liverpool cannot buy Vinicius for multiple different reasons. Vinicius is not going to leave Real Madrid as a Brazilian player to come join Liverpool Football Club. There needs to be a bit of realism when we speak. That's the problem. So for me, I'm just saying, I'd rather keep the best player in the Premier League than sell him and go buy Jared Bowen. Arda Turan and Paulinho never met Pedri and Gavi. I mean, okay, Waves, but you're a Barcelona fan. You could probably educate us in the chat. Point is, you know, they were there while there was...
I looked it up.
Basically, they didn't beat Xavi and Iniesta. Let's just put it that way.
I think one of the players they were playing with was Arturo Vidal. I think one of the players they were playing with was Arturo Vidal, who God knows where he's playing now. But the Barcelona squad in 2021, Pedri's actually been around for 3 seasons now, which is a little bit mad. But the squad in 2020, 2021 was midfield-wise Pjanic. They had Pjanic. They had Ricky Puig. They had Mateus Fernandes, Sergio Roberto, and Frankie de Jong. So can you see why my point was there was no competition? They were going to get first team football.
Yeah, and Waves just confirmed
Ricky Puig and Middle and Pjanic.
Yeah, they start because we have no midfielders. Yeah,
also,
that was point.
SCG Studios. This thing, you guys act like the club are completely incompetent, as if we didn't replace Agger and Carragher with VVD and Canate. We didn't. Matip, who was good. Wijnaldum, Suarez with Mane and Firmino. We didn't. So we replaced Agger and Carragher with Sacco and Torre.
And Lovren.
And Clavan. There was about 6 centre-backs who came in before VVD. And then don't even get me started about Canai. You replaced Suarez with Mane and Firmino. No, we didn't. We replaced Suarez with Barini, Lambert, and Balotelli. And then, after those 3 were crap, we replaced them with Benteke. Because that went well as well.
And Origi after the World Cup.
We didn't replace them. We had to replace the crap we had. They've ended up reaching that level. But we didn't replace them. It's not a situation where you get one out, you bring one in. It's not like what we've done this year where we have replaced Henderson with Szoboszlai. You've got one out, you brought one in. It's how we replaced Andy Robertson. We replaced Alberto Moreno with Andy Robertson. Although Moreno stuck around for a couple of years, he was phased out the squad. Robertson came in. Do you want to know who was actually our best centre-back the year after Daniel Agger left in 2014-15? It was Emre Can.
Hey.
It was Emre Can.
I'm done out here. Big up, my brothers. I'm kind of excited to see what Jurgen's planning with the midfield. Gravenberg, McAllister, and Dominic Szoboszlai could be beautiful to watch on the ball. This will be the next discussion now in the next segment, Ryan. So stick around because we're going to be talking about the midfield 3. Because I don't think Endo starts, and I'll explain it to Tom, and I want to hear his logic. on the whole midfield situation. But thank you so much, Ryan. Habibi, wallahi. Thank you. Big up to all the love you've shown us on the channel. You've been incredible. I can't even... And by the way, you're a great guy, and Flawless can kiss my ass. Salah's no longer dynamic. Should have sold him. Yeah, okay. Salah's not dynamic. It's like saying you can't play a game on a computer. BIG, bidding war, Saudi government versus themselves. No. I think there could be an internal bidding war. You're right. It won't be shown outwardly, but there might be an internal thing where it's like Al Nasser, Al Ittihad, Al Hilal, every single club would want to buy him. And rightfully so, because he's that guy. Messi FC is trolling us, but this is probably the most realistic thing. Sell Salah to improve and build Anfield. Hey, they'd probably take that 200 million and pay off the debt to themselves that they made on the stadium. So that will probably be one of the things that happen. So this is more realistic than us getting Vinicius Jr. What if Salah returns after AFCON out of form? And what if he returns in form? What if he scores 20 Premier League goals this season? And what if he wins the Golden Boot? And what if he wins the Playmaker Award? And what if we win the league? See how many different what ifs I can create for you? There is no need for me to what if. We will see. There is no need to theorize anything. But anyway, big up Waves.
The idea that last time Salah went to AFCON and came back, he was out of form. That was because he started the season in the form that would have won him a Ballon d'Or in any single year. He was that good. He was scoring and assisting in every single fucking game. He came back and still had the most G out of any attacker in our club. He just went from scoring to assisting. Like, yes, he might have a drop off after AFCON because he's tired. That's where you have that. This is why you also have 4 other attackers to help pick up the workload and carry it out for the final 4 months of the season. Why do we just act like if it's not even like, yes, Mo Salah's our most important.
Mo Salah carried us the first 7 months. Where was Mane? No one want to talk about that. I don't see FSG replacing Salah. They're probably going to put Soboslai on right wing. You know what it is? I've always mentioned a third scenario, Nadra, that's even worse than any of the shit replacements that me and Tom have addressed, and that's they're probably just gonna promote Harvey Elliott or promote Ben Doak, and here we go again.
This is the thing. This is the only close thing to praise FSG will get from me. Whenever we make a big sale, we spend the money. Whether we spend it well or not is a different argument. But whenever we make a big sale with Torres, with Sterling, with Suarez, with Coutinho...
That's a horrible suggestion. Trent right wing. In a Klopp system. Are you mad? This ain't 4-4-2 Man United from 20 years ago. This is my thing, Connor. Listen, we do replace well, but that was with Michael Edwards. That's the thing. Edwards ain't here no more.
No, it's not even about replacing well. I just said that you spend the money. When we sell a player, we spend the money. Whether you spend it well or not is a different kettle of fish.
We will on this guy, Tom. Look where I'm pointing, on this guy right here. That's where we're going to spend the money.
FSG. You saw that Jurgen Klopp had to argue for a 30-year-old for 20 million. Can you imagine if FSG's reaction when someone comes in and goes, "Do you want to spend 80 million pounds on a 28-year-old?"
Hey, the game. Anyway, big up to Amin, big up to Waves, BIG, Sanjit, Nadra, Ryan, and Messi for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Make sure you're all liking, make sure you're all subscribing. Come back at 11 p.m. as well, inshallah, for the best Prem XI, where I am gonna fight everyone. Waves, can me and you do a deal, Waves? Let me do a deal with Waves. Waves, you have to be a man right now. Tell me if you want to do a deal with me. That's it. See, I love Waves. FSG use Coutinho money wisely. Why not Salah?
Look at how they use the Suarez money. Look at how they use the Benteke money. Look at how
there's no need for all this. No need for all that. Michael Edwards ain't there. Who's the elite sporting director? Georg Schmatka?
No. You don't even need to. You don't even need to. He didn't even mention a sporting director. He just said FSG. So we'll give John W. Henry the praise for how we spent the Coutinho money. How did he spend the Suarez money? He spent it on £50 million of averageness and shit from Southampton. £20 million on fucking Markovic. And who else came in that summer?
20 million, Lazar Markovic. Markovic had me excited, I can't lie to you.
It's the Sterling money. Let's have a look at how we spent the Sterling money. Christian Benteke, 40 million. what was at one point almost our club record signing. He was fucking shit. Klein was okay. Who else came in that summer? Danny Ings. Who else? Tough to remember because we had so much shit around those times. Did we buy another attacker? No, we had Jordan Ibe. Sorry, I forgot Jordan Ibe was the Sterling replacement. I'm gonna have to look up those
Hey,
signings.
we were all there were
We
two
didn't do
players
well.
in this fan base, and everyone in this fan base was excited about. And you're a liar if you say you weren't. And that's
Benteke wasn't 32 mil. We sold Benteke for 32 mil. We paid about
Yeah.
40 for Benteke.
Yeah, but anyway, listen, Asaidi and Markovic, everyone's excited for. But anyway, look, I do want to move on from this, Tom. I just want to move on from this Salah topic because we can't talk about it forever. So everyone in the chat, slap up the like button. Guys, there's 400 people in here. We ain't even on 200 likes yet. Slap the like button. Subscribe to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. Every single person watching us right now, hit the like button. Subscribe to This Is Football. Keep letting me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As you can see, it's a very interactive show. Please do hit the like button, subscribe, and let's just carry on conversation because we do have Wolves to talk about. And someone touched on it earlier on, with the whole midfield conversation. And let me tell Tom my theory before Tom address the theory. My theory is as follows. Gravenberg left Bayern Munich because of game time. Gravenberg picked up the phone and he called Jurgen. Jurgen Klopp said, Gravenberg, you're going to start at our football club. Because that's the only way, in my opinion. He convinced him. So there is absolutely no way that Gravenberg signed for Liverpool Football Club to sit on the bench. We all know this. Let's all stop lying to each other. So, in my theory, it's a midfield three of McAllister DM, Gravenberg on the left, Szoboszlai on the right, for the considerable future, unless one of them gets injured, Tom. Your thoughts. Plus, were you excited for Alberto Aquilani? Hell yeah, we were excited for Alberto Aquilani. Tom probably didn't remember it at the time, but for me, I was excited. Yes, I was. I can't lie to you. Listen,
I was just sad we lost Alonso. I loved Alonso. I thought he was boss. So anyone was going to be a bit shit.
Listen, Tom Little was 3 years.
You could have bought me fucking, like, I don't know, fucking Cambiasso.
No exaggeration. How old were you when we sold Xabi Alonso? Don't exaggerate. Say the real number.
We sold him in 2010, didn't we?
Yes.
9, 8 or 9.
No, we sold him 2009.
So then 7 or 8.
Ain't no way you remember. Damn, 7 or 8. Wait, so how old was I? I was 14. I was double your age. That's crazy. Now we're working together.
But
so anyway,
no, look, the Gravenberch stuff.
Yes,
I don't see him starting against Wolves, to be honest. I don't, because I think he'd get games.
I'm not saying for Wolves. I'm saying in general.
I think it depends on how.
Because if he left Bayern because of lack of game time, why would he come sit on the bench for Liverpool? It makes no sense.
Don't get me wrong, he's going to get more opportunities at us. But I also see the thing where Jurgen Klopp, if he looks at it and goes, Curtis Jones is playing brilliantly, he's not just going to drop Curtis Jones. Now, if Curtis Jones plays poorly and the door opens up, best believe Ryan Gravenberch is going to play. But Jurgen Klopp plays based on form, and I think that for now, Curtis Jones has the nod. So I reckon you'll see Gravenberch's debut in the Europa League. You'll get minutes off the bench, but I mean his starting debut in the Europa League. And then it'll just be who's in better form at that point. And you've actually got decent competition. And that should, hopefully, up the levels from those two and push them on because they know that their place isn't secure and they have to perform well, which is the way you want it to be, your football club, which is what it wasn't last year in the midfield. And I know people don't like Curtis Jones, but the matter of fact is he's got more acclimatization to the system, and he's not a bad footballer. I personally think Ryan Gravenberch will eventually start ahead of him because I think Ryan Gravenberch is a better footballer who has more potential and is a better physical fit. And I think Curtis Jones will be the first option off the bench. But for now, Curtis Jones will be starting. And it's on
Nouri
Gravenberch
Sahin,
to usurp him.
I'm so hyped. Curtis Jones ain't starting, my brother. Make your bet right now. Name your bet. Any bet you want that Curtis Jones doesn't start against Wolves. Anything you want. Non-monetary.
Curtis Jones is starting against Wolves.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Anything you want. Go on. Non-monetary. I'm ready.
Nah,
What do you want?
I'm not. It's not even that deep for me. I just know he's starting against Wolves. If you know,
I
Klopp,
know
you
for a
he's
fact
starting
he
against
ain't
Wolves.
starting. Want to bet he is not starting? Anything you want right now, he won't start. I'm not saying Gravenberch will start. It'll either be McAllister, Soboslai, and Thiago, and he gives him the first 45, or it'll be Endo, McAllister, Soboslai.
I still see him
Curtis
giving
Jones
it to
ain't
Jones.
starting.
I still see him giving it to Jones.
No, I don't think Curtis starts.
Look,
Hey, thank God Slime ain't here. If it was Husam X Slime, he'd be crying right now. Big up Nadra for the super chat, by the way.
no, look, I can see him starting. I think I can see why you'd say he wouldn't, but I don't think Thiago's going to get the start. I don't think he's going to start him as his first game back after 7-8 months. So it's between Jones and Endo, and Jones is more settled in the system. I think Klopp would look at the Europa League game against Las Glins at home on the Thursday and go, if I want a chance to build confidence, that's where Endo is going to play. That's where Gravenberch is going to play. That's where Bajcetic is going to play. That's where Thiago is going to play. That's the game when he's going to look at these players who, will come in recently and go, that's the game to try and get them a little bit more used at home, chilled atmosphere, easy game, easy opponents. That's the ideal scenario. I still expect to see Curtis Jones starting against Wolves. And I think he needs what Curtis Jones brings. I think something about Curtis Jones that is going
Endo's going to start.
I disagree because I think the big thing I'll say about Curtis Jones is the people who get on Robertson for going forwards in this new system. Do you want to know why he didn't go forwards on against Aston Villa? Because Curtis Jones took up that position and took up that role. Therefore, Robertson was forced to stay back. Therefore, we held a much better defensive shape. Therefore, we were the most defensively solid.
Oh, you heard me say Curtis played well against Villa. I never even.
So then why would you drop him?
Because it's Klopp, Tom, not me.
Yeah, it's Klopp. The same Klopp who, when Curtis Jones got into a decent run of form last season, played him every single game.
Who was his competition? Henderson?
You're acting like his competition now is an Endo who would then be playing out of position unless you want to move him to the and then move McAllister forwards. But I think Jurgen Klopp quite likes McAllister as the 6. And then it's a Gravenberch who still hasn't played for the team yet. So Jurgen Klopp doesn't like. Jurgen Klopp will throw players in the deep end when he needs to. But when he's got the option,
can I ask a genuine question? Do you even feel good about this Wolves game? Like dead ass. I don't. I'm really expecting a draw or something.
No, I'm expecting a win.
No, sorry, I will change. Not expecting, predicting.
I'm expecting and predicting a win. But
I feel bad about the game, bro. I just feel bad about it.
That would
because it's 12:30 kickoff after an international break.
That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. It's
I don't know why. Like
the thing that might make me change my mind is what Klopp says in the press conference, because I need to know what our defensive situation is looking like. Is Trent back? Is Konate back? Or am I going to have to go into this game with the back four of Robertson, Quansah, Matip and Gomez? Because if I have to go in with that back four, everything changes. And I go, oh, not the best back line. Maybe the team takes a little bit of a hit. But if I've got Konate in there and I've got Trent in there, then the confidence is there. And my expectation and my prediction will be set in stone that we win, because we should be winning. We have to be winning these sort of games. If we want to do what we want to do this season, achieve what we want to achieve, you have to win these games. You have to go to these tough away grounds and win these games. Simple fact. And no, red, white, and white. Robbo, Quansah, Matip, and Gomez is not a killer back line. If you take Robbo out and put in Tsimikas, you've got the exact same back four that held four to a German second division side in 30 minutes. It's not a killer back line. It is a significant drop off from the first choice back line. Let's not
Killer
act.
is a crazy word usage for that.
This is the thing. You can support. We
It
have
is a killer,
two,
to be fair. It kills us.
we have two hyperbolic sort of set of fans. You have the negative Nancy's and the positive pieces, all just trying to be. That back four is not as good as the starting back four. It isn't. To say it's a killer back line isn't true. It's not a killer back line. I wouldn't be pulling out that back line if I was going to the Etihad, if I was going to the Emirates, if I was going to Stamford Bridge. I actually wouldn't even be pulling out that back line if I was going to fucking Goodison Park. And they're crap. But this back line, it's
I'm
not
saying,
even
Bob.
play together. Come on.
Yeah, I think it definitely ain't a killer top line.
Jadon Quansah is not top level. He's played 2 games. I love him. I think he's boss. I think he's a really good young centre-back with a lot of potential. But he is not top level or near top level. That's not true. That is not true. Unless your definition of top level is can play football. Jadon Quansah is yet to start a senior game of football in a division higher than League One. He is not near the top level. That's not me saying he's a bad player, but he's not near the top level. And you could have the same arguments for about half of the youngsters in this squad and about half the players in this squad. For me, top level is a starter at a top 4 team. Now, we have a top 4 team. Matip is on the cusp of being a starter because of Konate's injury. Same with Gomez. Robertson's a starter, but then Tsimikas isn't. Quansah isn't. Look at the midfield. I'd probably say Bajcetic isn't. Harvey Elliott isn't. Bendo isn't. We're not suggesting all these players will be top level because they're not there yet. Let's try and find that nice median for how we judge Liverpool at the minute. Because for me, it just seems like you've got hyperbolic one side and hyperbolic the other. You've either got it's the end of the world with shit, or we've got all these good players. We're back. We're going to win the league. We are about there. The stuff to be positive about, the stuff to be negative about. Let's not overreact. Because then you just get the hyperbolic on the other end, kicking off even more. Let's just chill, people. Let's just chill and enjoy it. Fuck me, I sound like Curtis last year. I sound like Curtis last year. Let's just chill and enjoy it. What am I doing, man?
Don't even. I don't trust Gomez. I don't trust Matip. I'm gonna be real with you. I just don't trust either of them. There's just zero trust. You know what it is? They got a clean sheet against Aston Villa, and fair enough. But I generally just don't trust them. I don't see a world in which Gomez and Matip are gonna take me to the promised land type thing. I really just don't. It's bad, you guys. I don't know, man. I don't want to be, because people are just, oh, we're being negative. But I just feel bad. I just have a bad feeling about this Wolves game for God knows what reason. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's the 12:30 kickoff. Maybe it's the lack of trust in Gomez and Matip. I genuinely just don't understand. And this is true here from Waves. This is first. And Waves, tell me if you want to do a deal for the Prem Best XI later, because I'm open to doing deals between me and you and the 370 people watching. Liverpool is a giant being held by strings. Yes, we are being held by strings. And I saw the same red, white, and red guy earlier on. He was like, oh, everyone now is, if Gravenberg doesn't come good, everyone's going to act like I don't want Gravenberg. I'm telling you right now, before Gravenberg has kicked a ball for Liverpool Football Club, I would trade him for Edson Alvarez right now if I had the opportunity, happily, because that's how bad I think we need a DM. Or I would trade him for a centre-back right now if I had the opportunity, because of how badly we need a centre-back. So for me personally, it's a lack of trust. Do I trust Gomez? No. Do I trust Matip? No. They could earn my trust back.
Again, red, white, and red. Yes, I have watched the performances this year. Yes, Joe Gomez has been good this season. Yes, he has been.
Which I've also said. I just said that as well.
But you cannot look at 2 games in isolation when you consider the past 2 years, 3 years of his career, which have been stumbles and struggles for Joe Gomez. He can have good games, and I hope he does, and I hope he makes me look like a dickhead. I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong. I actually think he should be starting against Wolves. I think you play your most informed players, and Joe Gomez is one of them. You start the season really well. You should be getting the start. But my point was, your whole thing of Robertson, Quansah, Matip, Gomez is a killer back line. You'd be moving Joe Gomez out of the position where he's been all season. You're putting an awful lot of pressure on Jadon Quansah. an awful lot of pressure on Andy Robertson. And Joe Matip, yes, he had a really good season 2 years ago. Last year, massively fell off the pace. This year, he's had one game. You have to take. You can't just use 2 games and say, "Oh, well, now it's this and it's that and it's this." No, you have to take into account everything. You have to, because I know, based off the history of Joe Gomez, he knows how to string together 3 to 4 to 5 good performances, and then have a howler. And
You know how I know this. Let me just end this, Tom. Earlier on, when Tom used an example from preseason, you said this is just preseason. So why should you use Kwanzaa positively then, using the same logic? He hasn't played so far this season, unless you're talking about the cameo against Newcastle or the cameo against Villa. Are you basically basing your whole thing off this guy being unbelievable because he came on as a sub 2 or 3 times? You're the one who needs to get a grip. I'm gonna be honest with you. Big up Husam, big up to you, David. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, happy 15th birthday, Tomlet. We need FSG out before we replace Salah. Hopefully that happens by the grace of God. Andre, even a DM, we should go for Kone and Hincape in January. You know what I don't understand, David? People keep mentioning, and I've heard Albert say this, big up Albert. I don't even know if he's watching right now or not. I've heard Albert say this, I've heard many people say this before. They keep talking about Andre. Andre is not a DM. So when you come up here and go, oh, we signed Andre in January, we'll be okay. Have you even researched Andre? Have you bothered even looking at Andre online? Have you seen what Andre is, where he plays? By the way, Andre is a long-term Thiago Alcantara replacement, not a DM. There's a massive difference between those two things. Like, yes, he fights, and yes, he could tackle, yes, he could do this. That does not mean that he is a DM. He's not. He's a long-term Thiago Alcantara replacement. And your options, look, Kone, had we not signed Endo, would make sense. Now with Endo, it makes no sense. I'm going to be real with you. Hincape, I'm all for that. Hincape, Inacio, whichever the hell one you want to buy, centre back. I'm all for it. What do you make of
Andre? Look, for me, I look at Andre. I look at someone who is a DM, but he's a double pivot DM. He's the player you put in alongside a destroyer. So you'd have your archetypical destroyer and playmaker. Trindade's the playmaker. He's got that nasty little edge to him, but he's primarily a playmaker. I believe that should you bring in Andre Trindade, you then see a situation where Szoboszlai is just a nailed-on starter on the right. You've got Harvey Elliott who can play there as well, but it'll most likely be Szoboszlai. You've got Jones and Gravenberch on the left, and then you've got McAllister, Bajcetic, Trindade, and Endo all battling out. And Andre can move into left if needs be. So can McAllister. You know, you then have, what is that, 8, 9? So 2, 4, 8 midfield options for 3 positions next season. And let's say you buy Andre and Jan. And then you keep a hold of Thiago. Andre then becomes your 9th midfield option for 3 positions. I'm all for having good depth. I am. I'm all for having good depth. I think every top side needs it. But 9 midfielders for 3 positions seems a little bit overkill to me. And it's not like you're losing 2 of them. You're losing one of them in Thiago, and he's not really an option at the minute. He's not playing much. So I think that next season it's going to be interesting to see how that midfield situation gets managed, to be honest. It's going to be something I'm keeping an eye on, because you've got an awful lot of players that you've got to keep happy there. And also, yes, Crichty, I actually do think Jalil Quansah is going to be really good. I've said it on multiple streams. But like with Ben Doak, I don't want the overreaction. I want these players to just grow and chill in their own time. There are 3 youngsters that I'm looking at with a lot of potential at the minute and going, I'm happy with them. Bobby Clark, Ben Doak, Jalil Quansah. I don't want them to have ridiculous amounts of pressure on them to the point where they should be starting Premier League games. No, that should not be the situation. But I also don't want us to do the same thing where we write them off.
Can I not trade the guy and also not apply massive pressure on him? Guys, a genuine question to everyone here. Has the Bajcetic experiment not taught everyone something? Like, can we not learn as a fan base to go like, we can't, thank you, Eddie, we cannot pin all our dreams and hopes on children. We can't let the child play. Let the teenager play. Let the kid play, and he will develop and he'll become a good player. No one here is against Kwanzaa. We're all happy. Every single one of us is happy for Europa League Kwanzaa, for Carabao Cup Kwanzaa, FA Cup Kwanzaa. Give him the opportunity to even grow and develop. But why should I play Kwanzaa City away? Like, that's the thing. We cannot
Do you
pin
know what the
everything
thing is as
on
well?
youngsters.
Do you know the thing is, the people saying, "Oh, you've got injuries, you need 9 midfielders." So yes, in the past we've needed a lot of midfielders because we've had a lot of injury-prone players. Let's put ourselves in our feet for next season. Let's say you bring in Andre and Thiago goes. So you've got Dominic Szoboszlai, not injury-prone. McAllister, not injury-prone. Bajcetic, not injury-prone. Endo, not injury-prone. Gravenberch, not injury-prone. Curtis Jones, arguably injury-prone, but I don't really think he is. Who else? Who am I missing? Elliot, not injury-prone. Andre, not injury-prone. You have 9 midfielders who aren't injury-prone. So, unlike with Keita, where you knew he was getting injured, Ox, you knew there was an injury
Why do
coming.
people always
Milner,
like to use
you knew there was an
extreme examples?
You knew there was an injury coming. With those players, that you knew the injury was coming, so you knew you needed the depth. Now, you don't know if the injury's coming. So let's just say Dominic Szoboszlai and McAllister get through the season uninjured. There's one spot in the midfield free.
This is so annoying.
7 players to battle for.
Nassim, that guy is one of the most talented players to come out of the La Masia in the last 15 years. And Barcelona is a prime example to learn from. Because Ansu Fati now plays for Brighton. So what they're doing with the 16-year-old is also wrong. Because you need to allow players that age to develop and to play and to become the players that they are. That's exactly why Ansu Fati has 7,000 injuries and he plays for Brighton right now. Ansu Fati versus Vinicius was a debate. That debate is dead now. So this is the thing. It's just people like, let's have some self-awareness. Man says Pep and Foden is how you manage a teenager.
This is another thing. Yes, Barcelona have a 16-year-old starting. Doesn't mean we should. Every single player's career path is different. I would argue that right now Ben Doak is better off in the environment he's in, playing under Salah, getting limited minutes under Salah, getting Europa League minutes, getting cup minutes, and learning off Salah, rather than the situation Lamine Yamal is in,
100%.
where Rafinha is in and out the team with suspensions and injuries. So there's an awful lot of pressure put on his shoulders. He's getting an awful lot of limelight. That can crush a player early on. I don't want us to have another situation with Ben Doak, like a Jordan Ibe, or like a fucking, who else do we have? Ryan Brewster, where they come to Liverpool and it's like, oh, the pressure. No. I like Ben Doak a lot. I think he's got a lot of good things. So I want us to manage his career path and his development better. I want us to look after him because we are going to need players like him in the future. So let's not ruin him early.
I Pep and Foden, giving the guy just time to develop. And then he says Rafinha was suspended and we sold Dembele. Yeah, but that's the Barca context that no one wants to talk about. And Tom's already said it. Ben Doak has Mo Salah ahead of him. Kwanzaa got Van Dijk. He got Konate. Like, let's not shove these players in there just for the sake of it. Like, David said,
hold on, Chris. Yes, I understand that Wayne Rooney played when he was 16 and was good. I've just pulled up a list here of all the youngest players who've made debuts in the Premier League. Izzy Brown. Where's he now? He was 16 when he made his debut. Jose Baxter, 16 when he made his debut. Russian Hepburn Murphy. Reece Oxford. Jack Wilshere. Jack Robinson. All these players I mentioned. Yeah, that Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson is arguably the one who had the best career, if you wanted to, unless you count Wilshere. But Wilshere's career was marred by an awful lot of injuries, and his potential was seen as much higher. Yes, some players come in and burst on the scene at 16, but for every player that does that, there's about 10 that don't.
Yeah, 100%. That's why you can't use the exception to the rule. Never use the exception.
You can't keep playing with fire. You can't keep, because we have 3 players: Bobby Clark, Kwanzaa, and Ben Doak, who I believe can all become good options for Liverpool in the future. If I was to start throwing them all in now, the odds are 2 of them would crumble and fail and leave the club in 3 years. Because that's just what the numbers suggest.
Yeah. Fact. We will look stupid when we trigger Inacio's release clause and it's FSG's fault. Getting a new sporting director ASAP is the best deal we can make. I wish sometimes I could just get John Henry in a room and Jurgen Klopp and everyone and just like slap some sense into them or something. Like, I'm not an advocate for violence, but like, I just don't understand. We done all this and now we're back to Julian Ward. Like, sometimes I want to slap myself to what's actually happening at this football club. Julian Ward. Why?
I think that's a good thing, though, Husam. It might be a
like, you know what they done? You know what they done? They made your standard Georg Schmatka, so anything better than Schmatka.
No, it's not even that. Again, this is all speculation before people try and get on at me. Julian Ward, for me, left because he was getting usurped in the decision-making process. The manager, the manager, the coaching staff, they were getting priority in terms of who we were signing in terms of decision-making. So he left. I don't believe he'd come back unless stuff had changed. I don't believe he would have come back unless he was told, no, this is your run the show now, which for me is a very positive thing. Because yes, he's not Michael Edwards. He was earmarked as the Michael Edwards successor. We never got to see that because of how wrong I think our recruitment setup has been in the past 2 years in terms of the sort of ladder of authority, should I say. If he's come back now, I believe that stuff has changed. I believe he's been told that he is the one with the power, and in which case, that for me can only be seen as a positive. That we can only be seen as a positive. Anything that isn't Jörg Schmacher coming out doing interviews saying I'm the assistant to Jurgen Klopp is a positive. But no, I believe it's a real positive thing. If it is true that he's back,
Okay, fair enough. So before we wrap up, just on this Wolves game, so you feel good about it? Me personally, I have a bad feeling. It's just that 12:30 kickoff thing, and I just hate Wolves away. It's just one of them fixtures I just hate.
This is one of those ones where it's like, it could be, but I think we should just get the job done. I think we're in a good enough state to get the job done. I mean,
we should get the job done. That doesn't mean we get it done.
No, but I believe we do get it done. Because
that's the problem, Tom.
Do you want to know what it is, Husam? I like our team. I actually didn't like last year's team. I didn't. It's one of the first times I've not liked the Liverpool team, really. I just didn't like the way we were playing. I didn't like the attitude. Didn't like the way it was looking. Even when we were winning games, at the midpoint of the season, I was moaning because it just wasn't looking right. I like this Liverpool team. I like a lot of what I see. And the midfield of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and say whoever left centre mid, I think that's a midfield that can compete with anyone in the league. Our attack can beat anyone in the league. Could it be a bit
is insane?
Defense? Yes, but at the end of the day, I believe we're good enough to get the job done, and I believe we will get
Name
the
a
job
successful team in the last 10 years without a DM. Go on.
Bayern Munich, arguably.
But who did they have? Kimmich and Thiago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, where's the Kimmich and Thiago?
I mean, if you want to give
who wanted Kimmich? Me. That's who wanted Kimmich.
Yeah, then,
so now you want, once again, you have proven that I am clear of you. I am clear of you when it comes to ball knowledge. Because you're now also running the whole agenda and narrative of
I never actually said anything.
And everyone in the comments can vouch. Husam wins again.
Right, so Husam asked me what teams were successful without a DM. I said Bayern Munich. I didn't say anything else than that. And now apparently I've now revealed that I want to defend in a certain way. No, you asked me a question. I gave you an answer.
W for Husam. Nothing new, man.
Do you want to know what's funny, Husam? I still think we need a DM. So I don't like the idea of defend by committee. I still think we need a DM. I'm not a fan of the idea of having McAllister, one of the best attacking midfielders from last season, being a DM for us. So no, I'm not a fan of it. No, I don't agree with defend by committee. So, but we should be getting the job done against Wolves, 100%. I mean, what even is this Wolves team going to be? Jose Sarr in goal, Semedo at right back, Kilman and Dawson, 8 Nori at left back. Midfield wise, they lost their entire midfield three from last season. They're now playing Lamine, Who else have they got there? They've not got Mateus Nunez anymore, so they've got Joao Gomez. They probably signed someone on deadline day, probably. Right wing, Sarabia. Up front, Kalajic. Left wing, Neto. We should be beating that. We should be beating that. So, yeah.
We should be is one thing, my feeling is another. We'll score plenty and concede plenty this season. It'll be on display this weekend. 5-2 score prediction at Wolves. You know what it is? If we do start Mr. Darwizi, I'm making this public right here, right now. If he does what he does against Aston Villa again, I'm going to go in hard on this Darwin Nunez guy because this is season 2 and I cannot give you props in season 2 for making the right runs and running in behind. How about we put the ball in the back of the net, Mr. Darwizi? So if he starts, and can I speak, please? If he starts and he's clinical,
the assist not good enough?
No, it wasn't good enough because he was trying to head it at goal and Salah got into the right position, and that was a shit header. That was a shit. So you're telling me that was a headed pass he intended? Look into the camera right now and say that.
No,
I dare you.
I'm not suggesting that, but the fact that you're not saying it doesn't.
So you just admitted it's a header that was a header.
Did he or did he not assist the goal?
That's not the point.
Yes, it is because I'm happy.
No, it's not. Did Saka play well against Man United? Right now, did Saka play well against Man United? Go on.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it. Well, let me tell you, Saka dropped a stinker and he had an assist. So what?
So you tell me Darwin Nunez dropped a stinker against Aston Villa?
Yeah, I don't think Darwin Nunez played well against Aston Villa at all.
So I'm just thinking about
at least to score goals, and if he doesn't score goals, then he doesn't offer you much.
But he assisted.
So,
hold on, no, because what about when Bobby Firmino was playing for us and he was the striker? Were you getting annoyed when he wasn't scoring because he wasn't offering much?
Okay,
Nunez
I'll make
is
something.
still offering something. Whether you like it or not, he's still offering something.
There are three types of strikers.
Yeah.
There is the Jogo Bonito striker, which is Firmino.
Yeah.
So he might not get you goals and assists, but because of everything else he does, which is create for others, you allow it. There's the other type, which is the robot, the cyborg. Not necessarily Haaland level, but someone who doesn't offer you much else other than scoring goals, but he scores goals. There's the third one, which is the Karim Benzema type, which is he's both Jogo Bonito and he scores goals, which is what I think Gakpo could become. Now, Nunez can't be not A, not B, and not C. You can be a cyborg or a robot who doesn't do well around everything else but puts the ball in the back of the net. Fair enough. No one's going to say anything. But if you're not scoring goals and you're not affecting the game, then it's a problem. And him heading the ball towards goal and missing, but Salah being in the right position is not going to sit up here and get praises from me. He missed 3 clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities.
Okay, you clearly right. Okay, so one of them he hit the post and it resulted in an own goal. I'm not saying he deserves all the credit. I'm not going to say he deserves all the credit because I know that'll piss you off. The other one I'm assuming is when he got played through and then he had the defender sliding in, keeper closing down, and he chipped it onto the bar.
Yes.
That happens. That was an unlucky. I can't expect my striker to bury that every single time.
That Quaresma crossed into his feet in front of goal.
Yes. Did you not see the other angle where Emi Martinez pushed it?
The keeper touched it with his finger, so now he can't score suddenly.
So now you're just being
you're going to make every
it's fine. If you're going to be disingenuous about it, it's fine. Let's move on.
You're the one being disingenuous, not me.
I'm not being disingenuous.
All I'm saying is you should take them chances, yes or no?
I don't think he should be taking that third one. I think you got to give the credit to the keeper on that one. Would I like him? Would I like him to score more? Yes. But I'm also going to sit there. No, because you sat there and said he doesn't. If he doesn't score, he's not bringing anything into the game. I believe he's our most dangerous player at times because of the threat he carries.
There's no one more dangerous than Mo Salah on this whole team. Stop.
Right.
It's embarrassing. Assists doesn't equal creativity. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said Darwin Nunez didn't play well against Aston Villa. And this is the problem. For some reason, God knows what reason, all the comps on Twitter and all the cold pictures and all the Darwizi and all the shit has got people in a headlock. I'm actually someone who's trying to have objective conversations because against Newcastle, we gave him credit till tomorrow. For Aston Villa, it's just 3 chances. All I'm saying is score 1. I don't want a hat-trick. I'm just saying score 1 of them and he didn't score any of them. But anyway, the game's the game, Waves. The game's the game. Anyway, big up to Waves. Gonna wrap it up here because we have a show in half an hour. Big up to Waves. Big up to Red Line of Teranga. Big up to David. Big up to Ozan. Big up to Messi FC, Ryan, Nadra, Sanjit, BIG, and Waves. I mean, for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Make sure you're all liking the video. Make sure you're all subscribing. Come back at 11 p.m. inshallah for the A-listers. We've got the Premier League team of the season so far. I'm going to be arguing for Mo Salah. Quick spoiler from my side. I'm going to be arguing for Salah. I'm going to be arguing for
How do you need to argue for Mo Salah? There's no one.
Listen,
who could possibly
I'm
get
there
on
with,
side at the
I'm
Mo
there
Salah?
with a bunch of haters. I'm there with a bunch of haters. And I'm going to be arguing for Dominic Soboslai. So I've got 3 players I want to argue with for the Premier League best team of the season so far. So stay tuned.
I think you could argue Van Dijk.
Best team of the season so far.
I thought in the first 2 games he was the best centre back in the league.
Yeah, but you can't argue Van Dijk right now.
I mean, okay,
because he's been sent off in 1 game and he didn't play the 1 game where we kept a clean sheet. That's what works against him.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom, where can people find you, my brother?
At Tom Little with a 1 on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. I've got a stream coming tomorrow around lunchtime. On the road to monetization. As I said, as I've been saying, my first monetized stream will be me gathering Husam and potentially others to go through some of my worst takes, because apparently I've had loads of them, which I disagree with. So we'll do that for the first monetized stream. And also, people, keep your eye out for a potential thing about me Husam on 2K, because I'm going to dunk on his arse. Best believe.
Hey, inshallah, when I get a new setup, I'm going to rock up the 2K thing. I might start a whole new channel, inshallah, for the whole gaming thing. So stay tuned for that as well. And actually, come and tune into the James Redmond stream in half an hour. Me, Tom,
yes,
that fraud months as well. So love, Habibis. Peace out.